Hey, welcome everyone. Today I'm going to talk about why your muscles are not growing. I'm going to give you a list of reasons why your muscles are still small and they're not growing. So, first, you're not eating enough calories. If you want to build decent amount of muscle mass and you are past your first few months of training, you're probably now you need to actually start doing things right and you can't really rely on noob gains anymore. So you're probably not eating enough calories, and if you're kind of skinny like I was before, like very skinny, I didn't really have a lot of fat and I didn't have any muscle. So make sure that you're in a caloric surplus. First you have to find your maintenance calories. You have to measure your foods on a daily basis and just track absolutely everything, measure yourself on a scale every morning with the same quotes on, just to keep everything consistent. And in a week or two you'll be able to find your maintenance calories, and then add 500 calories on top of your maintenance calories and you will start making gains again. Second mistake that you're probably making is not eating enough protein. As you know, protein is very important for muscle building. You need enough protein. I would say to keep everything optimal, you need 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram. For example, if you're 80 kilos, you'll need, I think, let me get the phone. At least 130 grams, and I would say you need a little bit more. If you're on a bulk, you should be. If you're trying to gain muscle, I would say eat at least 150 grams of protein every day. You know, I'm going to talk about food choices in another video. Now let's just talk about the reason why you're not growing. So, mistake number 3 that you're probably making is not training hard enough. And by not training hard enough, I mean you're just leaving too many reps in reserve. You're not really going near failure. I'm not saying that you should be training to failure, but just try to be just 1 or 2 reps away from failure. 1 or 2, maybe 3 reps away from failure. Anything beyond that, you're just not growing enough. You're not going to tear enough muscle growth in a training session, and you're just going to get fat. You're just going to gain unnecessary fat on your bulk. So make sure that you're training hard enough. Keep 1 or 2 reps in reserve on each set. And mistake number 4 that you're probably making is not using enough volume, not using enough training volume. That's going to cause you to gain more fat on your bulk, and we don't want that. So make sure that you're training hard enough with enough volume. I'm not talking about junk volume, I'm talking about high quality volume. Sets taken near failure, maybe limit sets sometimes, but just sets close to failure, like 1 or 2 reps away from failure, like I said on my previous point. And what's enough training volume? It depends. It depends on how many reps are you leaving in reserve. If you're not leaving many reps in reserve, maybe 5 to 10 maximum amount of sets per training session And if you're leaving few reps in reserve, 10, 10 sets, maybe 12, you know, somewhere in that range. And next mistake that you're probably making is not sleeping enough. As you know, after we're done training and eating, we need to actually recover from that training session. And the best recovery tool for our bodies is sleep, obviously. When we sleep, we grow the muscles, we recover from the heavy, high volume training session, and a lot of people just underestimate the importance of sleep, and that's a big mistake. You should always get a lot of sleep. Make sure that you're waking up without the use of an alarm. Don't use any alarms, just try to wake up without them to ensure that you got all of your sleep and you're growing optimally. So the next mistake, have to think about that. We covered calories, we covered protein, training volume, hard sets, sleep. Well, I think that's the most important one. 5 mistakes that you're probably making, so make sure that you fix that. Oh, actually, mistake number 6 is not being consistent with everything, just giving up after a few weeks. Building muscle, it takes time. Be consistent and you're going to grow in no time. See you guys in another video.